Would you like to have one of these for your special wedding day? Well, you can't have one, but you can make one, because I have no idea where to buy them, but you can make them. That's what's amazing. I'm going to show you how to etch your very own special little bell for your wedding day, or stemware, or anything else that you might want to put together that's customized for your wedding day, because I'm using a product called Armor Etch, and it's a way to etch into glass, and it's permanent. So, I mean, besides your wedding day, you could do it for any occasion, of course, but you know, weddings are special, and it's hard to get something customized for your special day. Let me show you some beautiful things that we created. Of course, this wedding bell with the special etching right there. You can even add little embellishments. Armor Etch has lots of different embellishments for you to add. Here's another beautiful glass here. I used a design from Design Elements and then added these little embellishments. If you use the embellishments, you cannot put them in the dishwasher, but you can certainly rinse them out by hand and use them again. You can also do little plaques like this. Again, they can say anything you want them to say. You can customize them. Here's another one that says Our Wedding Day and then a date. There's numbers, sayings, letters, just about anything you could possibly think of. Oh, and I love this one here too. Look at this beautiful one here. This one, a little bit of rub and buff was added to this to give it a different element. And if you use this, a rub and buff, then you don't want to put this one in the dishwasher either. So here's what we're starting with. You can start with a couple of kits. If you've never done glass etching before, it's super simple to do. As a matter of fact, there is another segment in the library, if you want to go check it out, that we did for the holidays using some design elements. But this is really cool because it has everything you need to get started. It has the gloves, it has the etching cream, the brush, some stencils. Okay, so it's a great way to get started, or you can buy all of your elements separately. Like here we have all of these different, basically they're rub-on stencils. It doesn't get any easier than this, you guys. So we have some romantic moments here. We even have wedding moments. Each one has its own packaging of different elements inside of it. Some rose designs if you want to do something really romantic. So this one right here, it has everything in there. It says it has one for the bride, one for the groom, maid of honor, best man, bridesmaids. And this particular one also has all of the months and a couple of years. You can go back. I don't know why you would. Oh, maybe for an anniversary or something, and forward. So you can go for a couple years forward on this one. And then you can put in your own dates and your own sayings. So let me show you, though, I want to give you an idea of a couple of tips that I found along the way to help you, because I actually started some right here. Very special couple that I know is about ready to get married. So here's what I did. I made 2 glasses, one for him and one for her, Neil and Tammy, and then I used the little heart design underneath. I actually used 2 different elements here. And then do you see where at the base is where I put the date. So I came up with this design myself. So I'm going to give you a few tips on how to create your own design, because everything else, it's already there. You just cut and rub it on and put the etching cream on, but I just want to give you a few little tips. If you want to make a name, okay, of somebody, then here's what I suggest. I'm starting out with the letters. Now they come all in a, one big sheet, but what I recommend that you do is cut them off in strips. Do not cut out the letters individually. It makes it way too difficult to handle. So I'm going to cut the strips out like this. And just for fun, I'm going to work on this plate because it's just easier to see. And I'm going to start with my name. And I'm just going to do this. I'm going to rub on the T. And you'll see when you rub it on, it starts to change color. That means the stencil is coming off the piece of acetate and going onto the plate. Here's another little tip with your handy dandy tool, which comes with some of the stencils. Rub from the center out. Don't go back and forth because you're going to ruin your design. So just go like that. Okay, now I'm going to lift this up and I've got the T. The neat part about this is because I leave all my letters on, it kind of acts as a grid. So it helps you place your letters in a nice straight line. So let's see, let's go with the E. And I put it right there next. Now I'm going to come up really close. I don't know, can you see that, Jason? I'm going to actually overlap slightly because I don't want to go in there with a tiny piece of tape to protect that area. So I'm going to overlap it slightly. And I'm going to rub this E on, just like this. And again, go out from the center out, work that off. Okay, now you're going to see when I lift this off, see how tight it is? Nice and tight. I even have a little space there that I'm not happy with, but I can fix that. So if you need to close the gaps in between your letters, then you just put a little tiny piece of tape in between there. So you just keep going with your letters. Let's see, we need an R. Okay, once again, line up the grid. Come nice and tight. See, it helps me keep everything in a nice straight line. And then you do this until you have your name spelled out completely. When you're finished with your name, then what you're going to do is you're going to go back in with some tape. I'm using painter's tape. You can use masking tape. And then you're going to go back in and you're going to protect all the areas. See, now I fixed that little line that I didn't like. You're going to protect all the areas that you don't want to have etched with the tape, just like I did here. So here I did two separate designs. I did the name, and then this comes from another, I did, let me see, what packages did I use? I did Romantic Moments, and I did script letters and numbers. So I used two packages. And I'll tell you what, you have more than enough to do something like this. Okay, so there we go, two different elements there, and then the date is down here. Now I'm ready to etch. This is the most difficult part when it comes to etching, is making sure that everything that you don't want etched is covered up. So now I'm going to take a pair of gloves, which will come in the starter kit. Actually, gloves come in many of the kits, so you want to make sure that you wear gloves. There is no odor, so you don't have to worry about that, which is great. You don't have to mix any chemicals together or anything like that. You even get a brush. And now I'm going to make sure that I'm going to make sure everything exactly where I want it to be. And now I'm just going to add the etching cream. And you just supply or put a nice supply, a nice generous amount of the etching cream right on the glass. Make sure everything that is going to be etched is really covered well with the etching cream. And instead of brushing your product on, just dab. Oh, this is a very delicate design here. Dab. I'm going to put the etching cream down here. It only needs to sit on for 60 seconds. Okay, I'm going to go rinse this off. When I come back, it'll be finished. Okay, here you go. They came out absolutely gorgeous. I'm so proud of them, and I cannot wait to give them to the happy couple. Okay, so by now you're going, Terry, where can I get the Armor etching cream? Well, you click on this logo right up here, and you can buy it right now online, okay? Or you can always go to the store, sold at most major craft stores, and you can pick it up that way too. Okay, so what happy couple wouldn't love to have a special memory like this? Have fun.